Hey, welcome to an episode of His and Hers Gen X podcast with me, Chad.
Me, Cristina.
So, obviously, you can tell what this week's movie is Back to the Future.
What dictated this movie?
Well, it's the 40th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
40 years.
Yeah, it came out in 1985.
And we saw it in the theater.
Yeah, we saw it in the theater. And originally, our plan was I was going to film it on the drive home, but it was probably too dark out.
We just went through a time change.
Yeah.
It was pitch black when we got out of there.
Yeah.
So, but this is good.
Well, you know what it reminds me of is, I don't think you watch him, Brad Jones, aka Cinema Snob. For years, he does, like, he reviews modern movies at midnight, like on Thursdays or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And what he does is he puts his camera on the dashboard of his car and he just talks to like he turns the dome light on or whatever.
While he's driving?
No, he just sits there in the parking lot. And I always thought, like, if I was doing a show like that, I would do it so that like you would have to finish the movie by the time you drove home.
Right.
Depending on how far your house is from the movie theater.
Right.
Anyway, so I think you said you have seen this as a kid.
I saw it probably once in my life. I've seen this movie.
Really? Wow.
I haven't seen this movie in a long time. I didn't remember 90% of this movie.
Wow.
So it was kind of like seeing it for me for the first time. I saw the second one more than I've seen the first one.
Yeah, I don't remember if I saw this in theaters. I feel like I did. Maybe I saw it like on a re-release or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I must have, because I have very vivid memories of when Back to the Future came out on home video. And like I remember my mom would go. We didn't have Blockbuster for a long time. We always got videos from the grocery store, and Mom's like going to the grocery store, and she's like, "I'll pick up a movie. What movie do you want?" And I'm like, "Oh, see if they have Back to the Future. They probably don't have it." And I remember my mom coming home and like, like, I don't know how it was where you were, but like the video rental stores have like those hard cases, and it was like just like a dark blue case like this, and it would just have like a handwritten insert in there of whatever the name of the movie was.
I remember it was kind of rough on the outside, so they
Yeah.
would stick it into a little sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
remember
and I remember
that.
my mom, like, I'm just like sitting there watching TV, and Mom's like, "Oh, I got you a movie." She didn't like say what it was. I just remember I saw Back to the Future. I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Wow, you remember that?
Yeah.
That's a distinct memory.
I should call my mom or my sister to see if they can validate that, because apparently our brain just makes up memories, but that's a memory I've had for a long time.
Yeah, it might be profound in your mind, but
Yeah.
not in theirs.
I always loved Back to the Future as a kid, especially like the Power of Love theme song, which I didn't realize they don't really play it that much in the movie. Like they play it at the beginning, and then that's it, because like it ends on Back in Time, which is also a Huey Lewis song.
That's right. Back in Time was written for this movie, right?
Yeah, I think they both were.
Okay.
Yeah,
That was okay. But they were major hits on the radio too, I remember.
I don't know if Back in Time was, but
Okay,
Power of
maybe
Love
not.
definitely was.
Power and Love, Huey Lewis. Yeah.
That's an awesome song. It's funny that there's actually a lot of music in this movie, like spanning,
The 50s?
yeah, the 50s and the 80s.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the boomers, but
No, it was. I mean,
well, I guess like the 50s, like his parents would be like more like Silent Generation or Greatest Generation.
and I was doing the math in my head. I'm like, what year were these people born? I determined they were born in the late 30s, his parents. So they'd be in their 80s now.
yeah,
I mean, that's a 40-year-old movie, so
yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, they're Silent Generation, I think.
Yeah.
that's the generation older than boomers. So I think like even Michael J. Fox he's kind
like
of on that border between boomer and Gen X.
Yeah, and his older brother would for sure be a boomer. So I was
Yeah.
thinking that too. They were kind of raising boomers.
Speaking of which,
older Gen X.
The guy who played his older brother Dave, he was Jimmy Olsen in Superman that we reviewed last week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was trying to place him. I'm like, I recognize
he
him.
grew up
but-
really quick because he looked like a teenager in Superman, and he looked like he was like 30 in this.
He did.
Yeah.
He looked way too old to be Michael J. Fox's brother.
Yeah, I mean none of them look alike. It's funny.
Yeah.
There's so many. Back to the Future. It's like watching it now. It's kind of funny that it actually has become the pop culture staple that it is, because like so much of the story, like there's a lot of like what we would consider like politically incorrect things in there now.
There sure is.
And it's
I was surprised by some of it.
yeah, like
But I mean, it was the 50s.
Well, not even that. It's just like the whole premise of it's a very odd like when you're writing a movie, like your only limitation is your imagination, really. Plus, I mean, I guess special effects budgets and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
so, I mean, if anybody's watching this, I'm going to assume you've already seen it. So, like one of the plot points is that because he goes back in time and he prevents his parents from meeting, and it's like, since then he has to get them to get together, and for some reason his mom super crushes on him instead of his dad.
His mom was weird. She would have crushed on any man or boy that ended up in that house.
I know.
She was all over him.
She seemed like, she seemed
was
like
in heat.
super horny.
Yeah.
And it's going back to Superman. It's pretty campy the way that she is, because she's like, he's an absolute. She says that like 2 or 3 times. He's a dreamboat. I'm like, nobody talks like that in real life,
Well, I felt like when you went back to the 50s, it was like the vision we have of the 50s, where people were super goody two-shoes and the soda fountain and all that. It was like a stereotype of what the 50s were like. I don't know if people were like that.
Well, then his mom is kind of like the opposite, because she smokes and drinks.
She does.
So
her
like
whole life.
Their whole plan of like Michael J. Marty has to basically like seduce or essay his mom.
Yeah.
And it's
I
like,
don't remember that.
Why would they? That's like such an odd. Like they could have done anything else. And I'm just like, I was putting myself in his shoes. I'm just like, anybody who was in that position, they like their skin would just be crawling the entire time of like, I have to pretend that my parent is like, I'm trying to get with them or whatever.
It
doesn't matter if you're man, woman, gay or straight, or like it's very, very creepy. And
well, and he and his mother kissed in the car for like a second, right?
Yeah, she kissed him, and then she was like, I feel like I kissed my brother,
Yeah, she sensed the incest, I guess.
Yeah. And he was like, he's like, he's saying like, I don't think I can go through with this.
Right.
Right. Well, he says that right before she kisses him.
Yeah, but it ended up working out because his pathetic dad,
Yeah.
God, he was so sad, saved his mom from getting raped by Biff. Biff is a rapist.
Well, you know what? That's actually, they kind of retcon that, because if Marty hadn't gone back, then that wouldn't have happened.
That's true.
Unless they had somehow mentioned like, it's clearly at the beginning. This movie is like the king of foreshadowing. There is so much foreshadowing. Like the whole first act, like every little detail is setting up something that's going to pay off later. Like just like when they're watching the honeymooners while eating dinner, and then the mom tells the story of how she met her father. It's like, this is how much more foreshadowing can you get,
All the details he needed to get out of the 50s or survive the 50s were provided to him like in the day before.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
And one thing I always wondered was, because he said he has like a week in 19, because he comes on a Saturday, and he had like on a Saturday morning, which it's funny if you think about it. So he goes to the diner, and George is in the diner like eating cereal.
Yeah.
And then Biff comes in.
Right.
I'm like, was that normal behavior to go eat breakfast at a cafe?
I don't know, because it seems like it would have been kind of expensive. Like, would you go to a cafe to eat cereal?
I know.
In this day and
like
age?
how far away? Well, no, everything was cheap back then. It was probably like a nickel for the cereal.
Still though, compared to eating at home, I don't know. But yeah, I guess it's kind of weird. It's like life revolved around this cat. What do they call it? It's not a cafe. It's a...
Yeah, it's like a malt shop, I guess you could call it.
A malt shop. That's where everybody hung out.
Although nobody actually had a malt.
No, they were he was drinking chocolate milk.
I know, that's one of the funniest, most memorable parts of the movie, where he's like, Lou, give me a milk, chocolate, and then it just like slides right into his hand.
Yeah.
Which means that had already been sitting there. It's not like it. But it's a comedy, so
yeah, it felt like a movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's almost like a cartoon in that way.
Yeah, kind of self-aware, I guess.
I wouldn't say self-aware. It's just like, it's the rules of a comedy movie. Like there's a lot of plot holes and like things that if you just think about it through like if CinemaSins reviewed this movie or whatever, like, or so like even at the beginning where he he goes back in time and he crashes into the barn, and then the family comes out, and the kid has the comic book in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what kid is carrying around a comic book in the middle of the night? Like, somebody crashed on the barn. Hang on, let me grab the comic.
Yeah, you're right.
This movie is full of moments like that where at the time you don't really think of it, but once you put your film nerd hat on,
yeah,
you're like, that doesn't make any damn sense. Or like how he hides the DeLorean behind that billboard, and it just happens to just be trees right there, and like, how did they get the DeLorean from there to Doc's house?
Oh,
Because like it wasn't drivable, or sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. It's again movie.
yeah, right. And they couldn't have towed it because people would have talked about the spaceship car.
I know. I feel like they're missing a scene there where, even just like a line. Like whenever I watch old movies like this now, I'm just like, oh, why don't they just add a line that would explain that? If I was rewriting this, I would have had Marty say, "Do you know a mechanic that can keep a secret?" And then Doc could have said, "Oh no, I know how to fix the car.
Mm-hmm.
I'll fix it myself."
Right.
Which I guess that's kind of implied since he's the nerdy, smart doctor.
Yeah.
Which is funny because, obviously Doc Brown he's essentially Rick from Rick and Morty, or Rick is him.
Yes. 100%.
Rick is definitely him, but like to an extreme, like multiplied times a million or a billion.
Has Christopher Lloyd? He's done other movies, right?
Yeah.
I can't think of what else he's been in. He's really deranged in this. Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, I think his big breakthrough was that TV show Taxi.
Oh, okay, I never saw it. Was he crazy on that?
Yeah, he played a weird guy on that.
So is he always weird?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because the intensity that character has, it's
yeah.
He's like a nutty scientist. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and it's funny because like he's like a nerd and George is like a dork.
Yes.
Like I guess it's supposed to be implied that George is smart because he's doing Biff's homework for him.
He's smart, but he's not succeeding in life because he's too big of a coward, I guess.
Yeah.
Is the whole thing.
There's a deleted scene from this movie. So towards the beginning where they're eating dinner, or like he pours that box of peanut brittle into the cereal bowl.
Yeah. There
was a scene before that where like Girl Scouts like coerce him into buying it. Like he really didn't want to buy it. Have you ever seen that deleted scene?
No, a deleted scene?
Yeah, I'm sure it's on here somewhere.
Okay, so just showing that he can't say no to anybody.
Basically, or anybody just walks over him,
Yeah. So I mean, Marty McFly going back to the past. I mean, it made his family better, I guess, in the long run.
Yeah, except his mom might not have been essayed if he didn't go back.
Oh, true. But it seems like maybe she dealt with it healthily through therapy. She seems okay. She's not drinking.
Yeah.
She might have been essayed in the first one and just never got help or something.
Maybe. Or maybe she coped with booze and cigarettes, It's like everybody smoked back then.
I forgot how messed up his parents are in the very beginning. I forgot she was a drunk. Like, I did not remember that at all.
Speaking of which, there's actually quite a few beer references.
Lots.
I thought we could do, so like at the beginning where Biff, he's like, I have your car towed all the way to your house and all you have for me is light beer. Like that's regular Miller Lite, and they did a retro packaging, which it still looks pretty much like that now. If you can, sometimes it does. And also Miller High Life in the clear bottle.
It looked the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was a Bud Light sitting on the table at one point. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
I know. I wonder how that happened. Maybe it was misplacement, but the product placement of that was.
Oh, and there's tons of Pepsi throughout the entire movie.
I think Diet Pepsi must have been brand new at the time because they really feature Diet Pepsi everywhere.
No, it was Pepsi Free. Do you remember that?
Oh, so it wasn't called Diet Pepsi. It was called Pepsi Free.
Yeah, I think it was just like there's different, like there's Diet Coke and Coke Zero. And it's like one's Splenda, one's aspartame, one's what's that one that was banned? Saccharin or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's all these very different variant like 0-calorie sodas. Because like at the diner he says, "Give me a Pepsi Free."
That's right.
And it's funny because like kids, if they were watching that now, they wouldn't get the reference. They'd be just like that. They'd be like the diner guy. Like, I don't get the what.
Yeah, Pepsi Free. Like I want a free Pepsi.
And he said Tab, which I believe is still around, but it's almost like a boutique soda now. Nobody really Like I think you have to special order Tab.
Tab. I think it was available up until about 15 years ago, and I think it's just kind of vanished. But yeah, nobody would know Tab. Any other generation would not know Tab.
Yeah, it came in like this like pinkish purple label.
It was just a diet soda.
Yeah, I remember always seeing commercials for that, and it's always just single women.
Single women smoking a cigarette and having a Tab so they could stay skinny.
Yep. Man, we should get... Now I want some...
You want some Tab?
I want to try these retro sodas.
I kind of want a Miller High Life.
Yeah. What else was in there? Like, it's funny because like a lot of points, they have the label facing directly the camera, and like he has a Pepsi can right next to his alarm clock. Yeah. Did you notice that?
He did.
I'm like, who would have a, like I might have an empty can sitting up there, but it wouldn't be on my bed headboard, I
always notice stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I don't remember. Oh, there was a Burger King, but I don't think that was a product placement. Well, I guess that would have been.
Yeah, any brand name you see in a movie is definitely a product placement of some sort.
Yeah.
Remember the so like at the beginning where he's skateboarding to school and the guy in the Jeep, he has a Mountain Dew hat on?
Yes.
I think that was Bob Gale who co-wrote the movie, or him and Robert Zemeckis, I guess, are old friends. They're the guys that own all the IP to Back to the Future.
Yeah, when I saw Robert Zemeckis, I thought that is a name I have not heard in a while.
I know, he's done lots of stuff. It's funny, like most of his movies that he did before Back to the Future were like bombs.
Yeah.
And then he broke through with this. And didn't he direct Gremlins? I know it was Christopher Columbus.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's done lots of other stuff since then.
Yeah.
But that Mountain Dew hat was cool. Like I'm surprised Mountain Dew doesn't put that out as like a retro. Like that's not like trucker hats. Anything that's like ironically retro. You can get like at Walmart now for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, I mean it's the 40th anniversary. They didn't place products with anybody. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't get a deal with Pepsi or anything like that. So I don't know. It was a big deal 40 years ago, but I guess Back to the Future's kind of been forgotten in time, maybe.
It's one of those pop culture icons like Back to the Future, Star Wars. It's one of those big 80s IPs,
There used to be a ride at Universal Studios for Back to the Future. Mm-hmm. And now it's the Simpsons ride. So they just switched it out for the Simpsons.
I never got to see that.
Yeah.
But isn't there like they made like a little mini movie or something?
Mm-hmm.
Was it like 5 or 10 minutes? Or
no, it's like you're sitting down and the whole theater moves, so it's like you're falling and flying. You're in his car essentially, and you go back in time.
Is Michael J. Fox in it?
He's in it. They always got the big celebrities, but now it's the Simpsons.
Speaking of which,
I remember that.
It's like we're watching this movie and Michael J. Fox is supposed to be in high school and his girlfriend.
He looks so young though.
Yeah, he's like clearly in his early 20s, but it's like all the other teenagers, quote unquote, are also in their 20s, so like they all kind of look like that's something I always bought as a kid. It never occurred to me that teenagers in movies and TV shows were like clearly old enough to drink, and they're
I know, because when you're a little kid, teenagers look old.
Yeah.
So, and we were talking about that. People in the 50s and 60s just looked older.
It's not even that. It's just like a TV thing, and I mean it's just because, like think of like movies with like actual kids, like Goonies. They're like prepubescent. They were only allowed to work 4 hours a day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had to nail everything on the first try, or like even when there was stuff that didn't go right. Like I was just watching a YouTube about the Goonies, and remember this part where Mikey, Sean Astin, he drops the map when they're riding bikes, and he actually has to go back and get it. Mm-hmm. Like he said he did that because they were running out of time, and he just left his bike and he grabbed it. We'll save that for the Goonies. Yeah, we'll save that for the Goonies.
Right, we'll have to rewatch that
podcast. Yeah, so there was one part when so like Marty brings Doc to the high school to show him who his parents are.
Yeah.
Which I thought was weird. Like this old man is just walking around the high school with a kid.
Yeah, nobody thinks it's weird.
Yeah, like although they didn't really have security back then, not that they really needed it.
Yeah.
And I guess he could have just said he was his parent or uncle or whatever. And he's just like, which one's your pop? And he's right there, like really just happened to be standing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he goes to his mom, and I don't know if you noticed this, Like when she backs, she's like, "Oh my God, Calvin Klein."
Yes.
And there's the extra who's standing next to her. She has this ear to ear grin on her face the entire time.
Oh, that's what you were saying.
I think
Theater.
I think it's because she's in a scene with Michael J. Fox, who was like the A+ celebrity, right? And like she probably couldn't contain her excitement.
That could be because they might have been normal high school kids, and he was on Family Ties at the time, so he was like a big deal. I remember that.
This is kind of old, but I think most people know this now. Is that Eric Stoltz was originally Marty, and they shot like half the movie with him.
What?
You didn't
know
what
that? Happened?
He just didn't have the chemistry. He just wasn't. He wasn't right for the part, I guess. There's lots of clips of that on YouTube.
Oh, of him playing Marty McFly, and it doesn't seem wrong.
Yeah, and I think there's actually movie posters, but I don't know if like they're fan-made posters or like actual production posters of Eric Stoltz like in that picture right there.
Wow, that would have been crazy. Like a different movie. I only know Eric Stoltz from Mask, that movie Mask.
He was in like a lot of 80s and 90s like teen kind of movies.
Was he? I think I missed
he was
him.
insane. He was in a lot of Cameron Crowe movies, and I think he was in some John Hughes movies. If I remember, I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
I remember him from Pulp Fiction,
which I've never seen.
Okay, well, we'll do that. We'll do that next year.
Yeah.
We're coming up on the holidays, and we're probably gonna start doing although I swear we're gonna start doing something other than movie reviews.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it.
Anyway, so when I said at the beginning, there's a lot of music in this movie.
Yep.
So Power of Love, I love that song. It still holds up today, I think. Like whenever I hear it, I'm like, yeah, this is a good one. Like when I used to run, I had like a special playlist just for songs I wanted to hear when I ran, and that was always on there.
Oh.
It's a good like pump you up song.
Well, I think Huey Lewis was just good. It's like I don't know. Yeah. It does seem like the 80s to me.
Yeah, it's the 80s pop rock because like it's almost like ska in a way because it has like a brass section. I don't think any contemporary bands have a brass section anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal was with Huey Lewis in the news, but I mean, I guess he was just a unique point of the 80s. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
And so then obviously the dance scene where he plays Johnny B. Good.
Right.
That's also, and it's funny because it's like retro within retro.
Yeah.
It's like that's like one of the original rock songs, and I think that holds up.
Yeah.
And there's tons of like metal covers of that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that song is like one of the original rock songs, and it's like in the movie they play it a little bit harder and faster than the original, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of which, so obviously that's not Michael J. Fox singing.
Very clearly, it's not. It sounded so fake.
When I was a kid, I was convinced it was him, but watching it now, I'm like, couldn't they have gotten somebody that sounds a little like him, or just like...
That's what was driving me crazy. They couldn't have found somebody whose voice was a little bit higher, like Michael J. Fox. Like, that was clearly a professional band and singer.
Yeah.
Doing that.
Or they, like, I think if you can act, you can probably sing.
That's
or like
true.
you can I think if you can act, you can definitely sing something better than someone off the street.
Well, it was like The Last Unicorn. They sang songs in that.
The
original actors. It wasn't good, but it was authentic.
I know, like Jeff Bridges is singing. And
yeah, unless Michael J. Fox just straight out refused to do it. I don't know why.
I would have to look that up.
But maybe he's really terrible. Maybe he's tone deaf.
Yeah, it's funny because this movie has like kind of like a rock, like the whole opening sequence with the clocks and the gigantic speaker.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing... Okay, you know what? I'm pretty sure I did see this movie in the theaters as a kid because I remember like turning all the dials and like the vibrations getting louder, like, and it's that noise, and just seeing this gigantic speaker. I remember as a kid plugging my ears because I knew it was going to be really loud, and it's really not.
It's not, no, because they can't blow out the audience's ears. But I completely forgot about that scene.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
You know, I don't understand. They don't explain it, but it's like my problem with time traveling is it ends with them kind of starting. Well, there's like a second Marty that goes back to the past again.
Well, it's because he comes back 10 minutes earlier.
Oh.
So
does that end the time loop?
Yeah, so I mean, he came back 10 minutes before, and then he sees himself go ahead to the future.
Okay.
And then that Marty is now him.
Yeah. It's just never explained how he knows Doc.
I know. That's...
Like, it just starts off...
I always wondered that as a kid, too.
It just starts off with them going to his house and, like, they're friends. How did he meet this weirdo?
There's lots of fan theories about that.
Such as?
I don't know if it was ever... I mean, there's tons of YouTube videos about it, and I think it was actually explained in... Did you know there was a Back to the Future cartoon show?
No, I never saw it.
I think it was explained in that. And you know what? There was a comic book based on the cartoon show, which I used to have those, too.
Good grief.
Yeah. There was lots of Back to the Future merch back then.
Really?
And there's still 2 more movies in the franchise. Do you consider this movie... Like, what genre would you put this in? It's like... It's not quite... I think it's more a comedy than anything, but it's definitely sci-fi-ish.
That's a good question. So if this was in the video store, where would they have had it?
I think they put it under comedy.
They would have put it under comedy. Now, nothing about this movie really makes me laugh out loud.
Maybe not today, but
it's funny.
It did when I was a kid, yeah.
It's definitely not. It's not sci-fi.
Well, did you take a gummy before?
Nah.
I didn't either. It's kind of like in the same. It's like Ghostbusters has like, it's like sci-fi sort of horror, but comedy.
Yeah, that's why when you're categorizing your DVDs, sometimes it's hard to figure out where does something go.
I know, like if I was gonna start sorting my 1,200 DVDs by genre,
right?
Would I put Back to the Future under comedy or sci-fi? I think I would put it under comedy.
Yeah, because sci-fi to me is like a little bit more technical.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of technical.
And sci-fi is more about like adventures and good guys versus bad guys.
Yeah,
like although. A lot of people put Star Wars under sci-fi, which I think it's technically more like fantasy, kind of like in the Lord of the Rings type genre.
And a lot of times sci-fi is fantasy as well, so I really don't know. I comedy. I would assume it would have been under comedy.
Or even like all those Schwarzenegger movies, like The Terminator. Is that action or is it sci-fi? Or is it both? Or like The Running Man?
Yeah, could somebody answer that? That's a good question. I never thought about it.
Yeah, we're kind of getting off topic, which that should be the name. Maybe we should change the name of the show to that.
Off topic.
Chad and Chris get off topic.
Yes, that's actually not a bad idea.
So what else? What'd you think of the costumes? Did it seem authentic to you?
I mean, from what I know. About the 50s. Yeah. I know my parents said you know, boys had to go to school with their shirts tucked, you know, the shirts tucked into their pants, and girls had to wear skirts and dresses. So.
Every dude has like massive gel in his hair, or
yeah.
They're all slicked up all the time. Although I'm surprised they didn't really do like the Fonzie greaser type character. There wasn't really anybody wearing a leather jacket.
I feel like guys back then probably had buzz cuts more than they did the slicked back. I think the slicked back hair was for the movie, honestly.
I know, we have to ask our parents about that.
Yeah, I feel like 50s was buzz cut. There's really not a lot of cussing in Back to the Future.
Yeah, they say a few naughty words.
Yeah, this is like a true family film, but there's enough going on to like engage older. This isn't a kids movie. Well, it's a kids movie, but it's for everybody.
It's a kids movie as long as you don't have to explain like what Marty meant when he was going to take advantage of Lorraine, you know?
Yeah, and that could be why I saw this movie as a kid and never watched it again. I think a lot of it went over my head as a kid.
You know, I always thought this was PG-13, but it's actually just PG.
It's just PG.
Which is funny because, you know, like Ghostbusters is PG and it has a lot of adult situations.
Yeah. I mean, the humor in this is pretty clean.
Yeah. I noticed I was like paying attention to like all the little details and seeing it on a huge screen, which I probably haven't seen since 1985. I always like, that's something I do like enjoying about doing this show now, is just seeing like all those little details, like just like the set decoration and everything. Like it really takes you back. Like it was modern and contemporary at the time, and then looking at it now, I'm like, oh, it's so retro, you know.
I know, but there were some scenes like when he's in the mall parking lot or when he's walking around outside and there's some shopping centers, and I was thinking this could be now just because it looked
Oh yeah,
Very similar.
That was a mental note I took. Did you notice that the JCPenney sign, it looks identical to the way it looks today?
It does.
Like they never changed their font, and like that looks like a modern font.
Yeah.
It's not like some retro, R. Crumb font.
No, it's the same one they use. It looks JCPenney looks exactly the same.
I wonder how far back that font goes.
I don't know how far back JCPenney. Well, I guess JCPenney was not around in the 50s because there was no mall, right?
Actually, I think JCPenney goes back to like the turn of the century, like the 1900s, like one of those like Woolworths 5 and dime type stores.
Oh, maybe they were mail order catalog like Sears used to be.
Maybe.
I don't know. They didn't have malls.
Speaking of which,
obviously.
I don't think there's any way you could get a car up to 88 miles an hour in a mall parking lot.
When it's wet outside. Too.
Even if there's no other cars around. So this is something that like I was noticing throughout the entire thing, like all these, maybe not plot holes, but just things that are like completely unrealistic. Like I don't think like when he's getting chased by the terrorists, and he's like, "Let's see if you bastards can do 90." I'm like, doesn't he know that if he goes past 88, he's gonna time travel? Because like it was like he was trying to do that on purpose.
Yeah, like he watched Doc set the time to 1955, and he heard him say 88 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he transferred time zones, he was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah. And at the end, where he's driving down the street for the lightning, there's no cars on the street.
Nothing. See, I haven't seen this movie in so long. I was expecting like somebody to walk out in front of him or a ball to go in the road or something, but no, he was able to do 88 miles per hour.
And these are all
in this tiny little town.
These are all little plot points that could be cleared up with just a line or two. Like he could have said, "I got the city to like." He could have said, because remember he said, "I'm doing a science experiment," and the cop's like, "You got a permit for that?"
Oh yeah, I got a permit. Nobody can come down this road.
He could have said, I had the city block off all the roads, like this, and also it starts thundering. It never rains. It just thunders and lightnings.
That's true.
As soon as he goes back in time, the storm stops.
That's true. The road was wet.
And also, how did they know that the lightning was going to strike exactly when the clock hit 10:04 or whatever it was?
They didn't. I was wondering that. That's 60 seconds.
That lady who was like shaking the can, like save the clock tower.
Yeah.
She could have said something like, there's a line right there. She could have said, I was standing right where I'm sitting right now, and I saw when the clock turned to whatever, I saw the lightning hit.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you need. Because like when a big ass clock, like that big, when it hits, you got a full 60 seconds between, like it's not like there's a second hand.
Right. As soon as she heard the dong.
Yeah.
That's when the lightning struck.
Mm-hmm.
But she could have large marged it, the 30th second at 10:04 p.m. is when I remember it happening.
I've seen that lady in something else. She was in a lot of sitcoms in the 80s, I think.
The woman shaking the can?
Yeah. I feel like everybody's trying to cockblock Marty in this movie. Like every time he's about to kiss Jennifer, somebody interrupts.
Yes.
Like first the lady with a can, and then like her dad pulls up in that, I forget what kind of car that is, but it's like this hideous wagon it's not just wood paneling. Like the entire paint job is like faux wood.
Yeah, it's a station wagon.
Yeah, and it's like really high up off the ground for a car. It must have been one of the first, I guess you could call it a sport utility wagon.
Yeah. Well, you've never seen National Lampoon's Vacation, have you? That's what
No.
they drive around in, is one of
really?
those. Yeah, that was like a huge car in the early 80s.
Yeah,
My dad had one.
Yeah, we had a station wagon when we were kids, but it didn't have the wood paneling. It was like orange.
I can't
It's
remember.
like reddish orange.
Yeah, we had a couple.
And I remember it was fun to like sit in the way back. We always called it the way back, like the trunk area.
Yes.
And like you would face the traffic behind you. So if somebody pulls up right behind you, like you're just like staring at them.
We used to like drive all the way up north with like a bunch of kids in the back. And, like, just can you imagine like being the car stuck behind a wagon full of kids, like pointing at you and
Yeah, it's
motors.
like one of your favorite shows, that 70s show.
Yes.
They have a Vista Cruiser.
They do.
And like there's a few episodes where it's like the parents and the kids all get in the car
Yeah.
to go see like a wrestling match or something.
Right, but you put the kids in the back and seatbelts be damned. So it wasn't an issue.
Oh, what did you think of the score to this movie? Like the theme,
Was it somebody we know? Because I mean, the theme was good. Like the songs are very you hear that song and you think Back to the Future.
Yeah, well, most people think it's John Williams, but it's not. It was Alan Silvestri.
Okay, I was thinking it was John Williams because he can just do that.
It does have a kind of Star Warsy or Superman kind of feel to it.
So many of these movies we've been watching recently have had just like great scores.
Yeah,
and this one too, also.
I think a lot of movie nerds actually put the Star Wars theme over, or no, Back to the Future over Star Wars.
In terms of just being better?
Yeah, just as like, I mean, the Star Wars theme, maybe just because we've heard the Star Wars theme a million times. You know, it's like you go to like a minor league baseball game, you're going to hear Star Wars.
Right.
But yeah, the Back to the Future works. It's, you know, it's just that, you know, cinematic of like this movie, the music like really, this movie manipulates you so much. Mm-hmm. Like when the terrorists are coming, you hear like the music change, like that military with the snare drums. But anyway, so
well, I haven't seen this in a long time. I enjoyed seeing it on a big screen.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't remaster it; it was still kind of grainy.
Yeah.
So we got the authentic experience.
I think it was probably clearer. In fact, we could pop the 4K in just to see, because I remember at the beginning, Michael J. Fox on his jean jacket, there's a little pin. And I was trying to read what it said, and I couldn't make it out. It was kind of fuzzy.
Yeah.
So I feel like they just like popped a DVD in, like this was not film.
Man, pop a DVD in and then charge everybody $10 to come in.
I know.
It's brilliant.
I would definitely, if movie theaters started showing like old movies again, because they said like we saw a preview for How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
They're putting that back out.
Yeah. The Jim Carrey one, it said 25th anniversary celebration.
Yeah, somebody else I know went through, they re-released Lord of the Rings, so they're just doing that as a cash grab.
I would go see these in the theaters.
Some movies deserve to be seen on the big screen.
Yeah, especially action sci-fi movies, so you just like really appreciate the effects and the surround sound.
They're just better.
Something like, you know, Breakfast Club or Pulp Fiction, where it's not really, they're not effects heavy.
Right.
Especially dramas, like any drama, you could watch that on a CRT TV in black and white.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, the graininess kind of lends itself to the fact that it's an 80s movie. So I didn't mind it. It didn't bother me.
I just think they use, like, a low-quality print, or maybe they just, like, the projectionist didn't, like, focus it enough.
Oh, like a personal issue?
I don't know.
We were very close to the screen, too.
So you know, we've been doing this podcast, 3 or 4 months now?
Yeah.
Like, you never saw the Star Wars movies, so now you saw those. Did you like this one the best? Although technically you have seen this before. It wasn't a first viewing.
Well, I mean, it's been so long that it kind of was.
It felt like a first.
Yeah, there was a lot I did not remember. So it's kind of like seeing it for the first time for me. I really enjoyed it more than I thought. For some reason, I had it in my mind that I just hated this movie, and that's why I never watched it again. But I don't know why. I just never watched it much.
So is this, of all the movies that I've shown you, has this one been your favorite, or?
I mean, it's very good.
Okay, I'm just glad you liked it, because we talked about it before, and you seemed kind of hesitant, or like,
yeah,
you didn't seem all like, you seemed skeptical or whatever. Like, yeah, it was okay.
I know. I just thought I don't like the second one. I know that for a fact. I do not like the second one. So maybe I just, in my mind, I thought I would hate this one.
I don't know. Maybe if you watch the second one again, you might like it.
Yeah, I watched it when it came out in like 1989, and I didn't like it then. Maybe I would now, but
yeah,
this was good.
And it's funny because like what you said, a lot of the movies that you picked, like Return to Oz, Last Unicorn, like they're movies I did see as a kid. I just don't remember. I just remember like 1 or 2 scenes. So it's kind of like seeing it for fresh eyes. It
is, because if I didn't watch a movie at least 3 or 4 times as a kid, I didn't retain it. Yeah. Like the movies that we've gone over that I've known, I've seen so many times. You've seen this many times.
Yeah.
I saw it one time, maybe as a kid. I don't remember anything. So it was like seeing it again. So.
All right, we're going super long for us. So if you watch all the way to the end or listened all the way to the end, you're awesome. By the way, share the show with friends, family.
Yeah.
5-star rating in Apple or Spotify really helps.
Yes. Please rank us on Apple Podcasts.
I'm an Uber driver, and I actually have like a little billboard for our show on the back of the seats, and I always try to sell it on people. And a lot of people are like, all right, I just followed you on Spotify. I'm like, follow us on YouTube. That's where we need the audience.
Follow us on all the things, please.
Yeah. All right, so who knows what we're doing next time, but the holidays are coming up, so You can take a guess.
Yep.
Lots of things to choose from there.
All
right.
right.
Well, thanks for watching.
See you on the flip side.
Yep. Smell you later. Bye.
Bye.